Is he listening to the people?
I don't think that he necessarily is.
Told y'all. What did Michael Jackson say? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith, and welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my channel and this content. And if you love this content and you appreciate what I put out, make sure you hit that right there so that this video can be constantly recommended to you and content of mine can be constantly recommended to you. Also, make sure you follow me on all the platforms you see listed up here and down here. I'm on all those platforms posting content. Please check those places out. Also, contents like products that you see that may be posted throughout this channel are all products that I use for content creation. There are products that I use on myself like deodorant, and there are also products I use for my dog when it comes to dog food. Yeah, y'all ask me questions like that, I post those things on here. So anyway, you guys, I did a video last week showing how a lot of Chicagoans were going off on the mayor. I showed you guys how I spoke at a conference up there about a week ago on a weekend. And then that following week, people exploded on the mayor council and the mayor and his council board. Chicagoans spoke out and let it be heard to the extent to where they are trying to put a referendum into place to try to get the mayor off of that stand. Get him off. That's what they're trying to do. Put a referendum into place, try to push it through legislation, which is an uphill battle, but it can be done. If people really, really want this done, it can create a lot of noise and have this done. Trust me, it can. 3 years. They got some time. Anyway, they want to try to recall him. Now, what happened since that meeting? But before I even tell you guys, check this out.
So happening today, Chicago City Council is expected to vote on a $70 million request to help handle the sanctuary city illegal migrant crisis. The vote was pushed back after residents called out Mayor Brandon Johnson on Wednesday. Watch.
Asking y'all to use our tax money for our people. We need it.
They're showing up here in New York, in Chicago, attacking people in the streets. The police are fighting with them in the shelters that you guys are funding.
P. Ray Easley was at the City Council meeting, and she joins us now. Ma'am, thanks so much for joining the program. So when I look at Chicago, y'all have been struggling for a while, and y'all need resources there. How do you feel about the mayor dedicating those resources to the illegals in your city now?
It's the most disrespectful thing we've ever encountered in our lives. We've been paying property taxes in this city for generations, and to see them so openly give our money to people who don't deserve it is very insulting. You
know, P. Ray, when I went to Chicago a few months ago, there were schools that were boarded up, and they said they didn't have any money to fund those schools. But conveniently, they found a way to open them up for the migrants to take refuge.
Correct, and those are not migrants, those are illegal immigrants. Our grandparents are migrants who left the South to come to Chicago, and we can't mix ourselves up with them. But to that point, it's extremely insulting. They've been telling us my entire life that they don't have money for this, they don't have money for that, we have to compromise, we must go without. But now we're seeing that they are able to print money out of the clear blue sky, and we want to know why wasn't our tax money given to us?
You know, this is also, P. Ray, a mayor that is prided himself on being a man of the people, helping the community. I haven't seen city council meetings this packed in a while. Is he listening to the people?
I don't think that he necessarily is. They, meaning him and his progressive allies, came in with a very strict agenda that they're following to the T. But to that point, I want to thank our mayor for uniting the city in a way that we haven't seen since the '96 Bulls, and that's against him and this progressive agenda.
Oh, I love that. Tell me this, I only got about 15 seconds left. Do you think that the voters there are going to respond at the ballot box?
Absolutely. We are looking forward to bringing back Donald John Trump Sr. as our 47th president. He's the only president who has a plan to close the southern border, which is going to cut off the pipeline of human and drug trafficking that's flooding the west side of Chicago. And we cannot wait to get you back in office, Mr. President. Please come see us in Chicago.
P. Ray Easley, a message to Donald Trump as well to come see the people.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Brilliant, wasn't she? Great takedown. Educated, knows what she's talking about. Her and other people like this are the ones that are trying to turn that particular area red. If y'all don't know this, Illinois is not necessarily what you would call a blue state. If you look at how the voting was done, there was a lot of red, but for some odd reason, Cook County has a lot of pull. Ridiculous. Anyway, Mayor Johnson still did it. Yes, he did. He still did it, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor Johnson still turned around and pretty much told Chicago, I'm still giving them, he's still giving them the $70 million for the migrant despite the voters' backlash. In other words, despite the Chicagoans who voted him in, he said, screw y'all, I'm giving it to them anyway.
So happening today, Chicago.
Right? The Chicago Council on Friday greenlit an extra $70 million for the care of illegal immigrants in the Windy City, despite a massive backlash from residents that foreign nationals are being prioritized over native Chicagoans. The council voted 30-18 to approve the request made by Brandon Johnson in order to help deal with the ongoing migrant crisis it's facing. CBS News reported that the vote, which came after an hour of heated debate, accompanied by an approval of $48 million in grant money from the state and federal governments. That money is on top of $150 million assigned to migrant care in the budget already. Johnson, along with a number of other mayors, have appealed to the federal government for billions more for funding than it already is providing. Yes, this is a challenge. Do we want to spend this money like right now? Of course not. But again, we have an obligation and we have a responsibility to move this ball forward, said Jason Irwin, the council's budget committee chair, according to CBS. Johnson's office had said the funding request was to ensure that the city is prepared should there be any sudden increase in new arrivals sent by Texas Governor Abbott. The city aims to provide basic necessities, including food, shelter, medical care, education, vaccines, case management, and resettlement support. According to Johnson's office, the city has, at its peak, been dealing with more than 2,000 migrants coming in a week. Nearly 40,000 have arrived since August of 2022. The mayor has also been calling for more funding, national coordination, and resettlement and faster employment documents. However, residents showed up in force at the city council meeting, which I told you guys all about. You guys don't know all that and know what they said, right? Says, meanwhile, some residents have been pushing to recall Johnson. A group is currently laying the groundwork by gathering signatures on a petition for a referendum to change the state law, which currently does not allow for the recall of anyone except the governor. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I told you guys, and for the ones, you don't know what you're talking about. Mayor Brandon Johnson could do the blah, 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 blah. He can get in there and do a good job. He can get in there and surprise you. That man is a black man. Is going to... Yeah. What is he doing for you? Yeah, I'm rubbing it in. I know that the wound is open. I know that you're bleeding now, but I'm still going to pour sea salt and Himalaya salt in there, big giant crystals, so you can feel the burn, and hopefully you can feel the scratches and the scruffs from how rough the salt crystals are. Let it burn. You chose this. Now, I know y'all hate hearing this. What I love about a lot of people that were up there when I was at this conference, that a lot of you guys said, I made a mistake. I thought he was going to be. Ones that are like that, God bless you. Thank you for seeing this through and having enough courage and gall and balls and not having too much pride to say, Ty, I made a mistake. You were right about this. I'm not going to do this ever again. I see what you're talking about. People like that is called growing. That's growth. But too often, some of y'all have so much pride. Still, some of your Negroes up there right now. Some of y'all still right now got so much pride. So what? So what? I mean, you would rather have your fellow Chicagoans suffer because you choose not to say that you were wrong. You would rather have them suffer just for the sake of just trying to, because I ain't going to tell that nigga he right. I don't care. It's not about being right. It's all about telling you the truth. And now some of y'all can see the overall picture that all I was doing was looking out for you. Family, I'm sorry. I know. Y'all, I told y'all, look what he's doing. Some of my cousins, a lot of my cousins up there, pissed off to the max. But you know what? I don't want to say you guys asked for it. Y'all didn't know it was coming. You want to know why? They expected you not to know. They don't expect you to go and read. They don't expect you to go and look into policy. They know that they're allowing all this stuff to go through certain systems. What am I talking about? Let me slow down. The reason why they have such sucky schools when it comes amongst a lot of inner city schools and they pass you on through because they are hoping and betting that you are not going to be able to read. And with not being able to read, you won't be able to understand or comprehend what it is that you're reading. Therefore, they can prey off of your ignorance of not being able to read and easily manipulate you into continuously voting for them on policy that in the end is harming you, the black community, or the inner city, which includes all people, period. And you know what? I know y'all hate when I say this. These illegals, these asylum seekers, these migrants, they're going to come to the city. They're going to use those resources, and they're going to win. And not only are they going to win, they're going to start winning and doing better, but they also are going to be the new black for the Democratic Party. Mark my words. Don't believe me. Call me crazy. Call me Uncle Tom. Call me a coon. Do all that. But one thing you're not going to call me is wrong. Anyway, don't forget to hit that like button right there, ladies and gentlemen, before y'all get out of here. Chicago, let's hear it from y'all. Y'all better be in those comment sections. Express what you feel, all that good stuff. Let me know so the people on YouTube can read it themselves. You guys are being done wrong. Y'all are being treated like the redheaded stepchild, the black sheep, the bastards, the abandoned black kids with no fathers in the home. Is exactly, and how ironic this a black man is doing it to y'all. Anyway, but I won't cost you nothing for that joke. I know. Womp, womp, womp. Let me hear from you guys, all right? I am Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing, and most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.